with a degree. I mean, that's going to top it off right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. It is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Featuring first, from Superior, Wisconsin, weighing 255 pounds, the #1 contender for the NCWA heavyweight champion, Mr. Dynamic.
Wrestling the way it should be. Dynamic is the #1 contender. He gets the title shot.
Hey, Johnny T, I think he's talking to you.
Yeah, Johnny T, those comments definitely directed toward you, pal. Listen, if somebody gave this guy a penny for a thought, they'd be overpaying him.
Look at the body on that guy.
$1 billion body, headset brain.
65 pounds, from places of higher learning. A man with an IQ of over 200. A man that roams the ring with the grace of a gazelle. The current NCWA heavyweight champion, the Masked Professor.
Carmine made it back, too.
He is accompanied at the ring by his manager, Carmine Barona.
Carmine ran so fast after this match here at New Year's Nightmare, he had to catch a cab to come back, and now he's leading his man, the Masked Professor, out for the heavyweight title bout. And this is going to be a great match. Dynamic. Both men, even in strength, even in size, even in wrestling ability. And we got rid of you because you was bringing us down. Because you ain't worth nothing to us.
The referee for this match, Joe Macko.
Pretty strong comments by Carmine Barona Jr. saying that his family got rid of Mr. Dynamic because Mr. Dynamic was bringing the family down, and that, quite frankly, I find hard to believe. That's right. They dumped him. He was dead weight. Wasn't pulling his own.
Carmine must have a lot of family involved here. And the muscles are flexing.
You know, I think this Masked Professor is going to give Mr. Dynamic a real education. Although, Mr. Dynamic told me, he said, I really liked high school. It was the best 15 years of my life. Well, referee for this championship bout is Joe Macko. Sorry to interrupt you, Don. Joe Macko will have his hands full. Two of the biggest bodies in the NCWA squaring off for the heavyweight title. Both men have been putting in extra hours in the gym in preparation for this very important title match.
And if we can just get Carmine out of the ring, we'll be all set for a match.
Now, all the participants on the card tonight must be watching this very closely because the winner of that tournament gets a match against the winner of this match, whoever is the champion after this. That's right. You heard him. He ain't got it upstairs. Well, let's just wait for Carmine to get out of the ring and get the action started. The talk has started a long time ago, but so far we're still waiting for the lock-up. And we're going action.
I think even if Carmine's in the ring.
Speaking of action, what's he doing on Carmine? Carmine didn't do anything. He's a manager. Look out behind you. Oh! Professor just clobbered Carmine. And that could throw off their game plan early on. Nailed him with that drop kick. They got to bail out and get their thoughts together. Unbelievable action. Dynamic was concerned with Carmine. Had his back there. Professor came in. Dynamic ducked out of the way. And Professor just clotheslined Carmine. Well, this is the heavyweight title. Oh, look out! Boom! Dynamic out after the title. He's going after it because the Professor does not have to beat Dynamic. Dynamic has to beat the Professor. There was a quick 2 count. Dynamic catapulting himself over that top rope. A flying clothesline, but only a 2 count. And now he's got him in that arm bar, wrenching on the arm.
Dynamic is definitely intense for this match.
He should be. This is for the heavyweight title. This is a very important match. Dynamic has been waiting a very, very long time for this bout. He was a part of the family, the stable, if you will, of Carmine Barana Jr. And I wonder, maybe by keeping Mr. Dynamic in the family, they were keeping him away from the heavyweight title. Well, that's not true. What happened was Dynamic was in the family, wasn't pulling his own weight, and they had to drop him dead weight.
How can a man with that size not be pulling his own weight?
Those two guys in the ring, they could pull like 100 semis between the two of them. Very, very powerful. That's true. They both have immense strength. But I think the difference will be the Professor has not only strength, he has smart.
Well, he's in a predicament now.
Dynamic taking it to him early on. The nail for the title. Well, now Dynamic in control, working on that left arm. Only a one count as Professor rolls his shoulder. And Dynamic wearing him down, leaning his weight on him. It's a good strategy by Dynamic.
Yeah, but there's only so much that shoulder can take.
All right, Don Krutzig, for the fans of you that don't know, Don is an athletic trainer. He has gone to school. He has his certificate to be a trainer. And you know, Don, from all your studies, from all your experience, the human body can only sustain so much.
It can, and this is way too much. I mean, only the size and dynamics of their muscles are keeping things together right now.
I think the Professor is going on sheer desire against this move. A normal man would have a broken arm by now. Well, Professor has trained long and hard to get where he wants to be, and that is to the NCWA Championship. He lost the title back in February to Tommy Jammer. A couple of months back, he regained the title, lost it again to Jammer in Balsam Lake, Wisconsin, and won it back here at Ron's. So he's been there, he knows what it's like to be the champion, and he knows that he wants to stay the champion. The Professor outsmarting him again.
Oh, but the Braun takes over.
That's Dynamic.
The Braun of the Dynamic takes over. Excuse me.
That's right. Mr. Dynamic showing he's got something upstairs just as well as the Masked Professor does. So far, the advantage, in my opinion, definitely in the favor of Mr. Dynamic, the challenger. I'll agree with you there, Lloyd. Dynamic has all the momentum so far. The Professor needs to mount the comeback somehow. Now Dynamic still working on that left arm. Wearing down the Masked Professor, as I mentioned early on.
Oh, you can almost hear that crunching going on from here.
That's right, Mr. Dynamic is quite an awesome individual. Professor has never faced someone of Dynamic's ability in a championship match. And you know, even if the Professor gets out of this hold, what good is he going to be with one arm? The Professor trying to rake the ice, but unable to break the hold. Well, that's one way to get out of it. The Dynamic holds on.
But Carmine had to worry about throwing in the towel.
Professor trying to make it to the ropes to break the hold. This is for a championship. I don't think you're going to see him throwing in the towel just yet. Well, Dynamic picks up the Professor. Slams him down. One. Hooks the leg. Two. Oh, not even a 2 count. He's got to work on the Professor a little more to get him into a Dynamic serious predicament. Sorry, Johnny T. Dynamic trying to drop the elbow down. Professor rolls out. Oh, Professor just breaking the eyes. I think that's what the Professor's going to have to do. Maybe use a little bit of the rough house tactics to regain the advantage. And now he's choking him over the top rope.
5 minutes. 5 minutes into this
Carmine
match.
climbing on the apron to distract Joe Macko.
Throwing off the rope.
Taking it to Dynamic now. Big fast. The Professor blatantly choking right in front of the referee. He's got a 5 count.
Got Mr. Dynamic squirming.
You know, Don Krutzig, I got to tell you, I didn't realize that we had the walking encyclopedia Britannica between us and Johnny T, the man who supposedly knows everything about nothing.
I agree there.
Look, he's got nothing to say. I can't believe this.
We better mark that down in the calendar.
Listen, pal, you keep that stuff up, I'm going to have you out of here.
Somebody call Ripley's, believe it or not.
I may have to ask you to leave, Lloyd.
Well, before I leave, I want to stick around and see what happens. Professor now in control of Mr. Dynamic.
That's right. Keep your attention on the match and not on me. We've got a great title match going on. The Professor doing what he has to get the advantage.
He had him choking over that middle ring rope, and you could see it. Dynamic's feet were not touching the floor. His windpipe and carotid artery being damaged at the hands of the masked Professor.
It was all 250 pounds of Mr. Dynamic coming down on his throat.
And now Professor's got him snap there.
And he's wearing down Dynamic now. The tables have turned. He said, ask him. Wait, I heard Dynamic give up. He gave up.
Oh, Johnny T, I think the only thing you heard was the waitress asking you if you wanted more pop. Dynamic did not submit. It's going to take more than this for him to give up. And, you know, he's waited a long time for this bout. There's no way he's going to submit.
Well, you never know. Submission could happen at any time if you got the right force behind it.
Well, that's right, and it could happen for Dynamic, or the Professor could even submit.
That's right. Standard submission and the title changes hands.
We have seen that before. The one memory that comes to my mind, Bob Backlund, who wrestled against the Iron Sheik. Backlund's manager, Arnold Skolin, threw in the towel. Title change hands there. Who knows? It could happen tonight. Maybe Carmine will throw in the cane.
I got a feeling here that things aren't going to be under submission.
That's right, but Oh, sorry.
One person's going to be walking out of here barely, and the other one's probably going to be lying flat out.
Now, before I rudely interrupted you, I was going to say, you can't compare Scrawny Backlund to either of these behemoths.
Now Professor picks him up. Shot right to the midsection. You guys know as well as I do, Professor's finishing maneuver is that Oriental heart punch. He has put men out of pro wrestling with that, and Dynamic has to be on the lookout for it.
That's right. Before the Professor got into wrestling, 30% of hospital beds were empty. Now they're plumb full.
A 2 count there, and the title almost changed hands.
We almost had a new champion. I can't believe it. The masked Professor has got to get it together here.
A shot to the chest again. Professor hammering away, wearing him down. Uh-oh, now Dynamic's putting the brakes on. Now he hammered away and just dropped the Professor.
And he falls down.
Uh-oh, Carmine just tripped Dynamic.
Look how clumsy Dynamic is. He tripped over his own feet.
Oh, he tripped over the cane of Carmine Barona Jr.
We've seen that ball play before.
Hey, look at Mr. Dynamic is falling for the Professor.
Yeah, the only difference is that Dynamic can get up.
Now, if he nails, if he nails this, we don't have to worry about the title changing hands tonight.
Oh, Dynamic putting the brakes on. Professor was going for that Russian neck breaker. A test of strength right here in the middle of the ring.
Boy, and this is great to see. Two guys this big going at it. I love it.
Something's got to give.
Carmine's going to ring the bell, but I can't tell
10 minutes
what's going
into
on.
this match.
Is this a variation of a submission hold? And who's got who in it? I can't tell from this vantage point.
You're right, Johnny T. Very difficult to tell. Is Professor in control or is Mr. Dynamic?
Maybe we need someone to pull them two apart.
I say ring the bell. Give the win to the Professor. He's worked hard enough for it.
Uh-oh, now both wrestlers going back up.
What's going to happen? Who's going to give?
Oh, Dynamic forcing the Professor's arms up. Is he winning this test of strength or is the masked Professor? I can't tell.
Both men want that title so bad.
Carmine's doing his best to help the referee out.
Uh-oh, Dynamic Looks like he's in control. He forces the professor around. Oh, and a shot to the head. Another one.
Now look who's coming back.
Yeah, with cheap illegal punches.
Oh, what a chop. There's the whip across. And there is the tendon clothesline.
What's he going to go for? He's signaling for something.
He picks him up.
If he gets this, it's all over. We got a new champion.
Wait a second. What's TJ Lightning doing out here?
Coming in the ring. That's right, baby.
What's he doing?
He's got no business being out here.
He can go wherever he wants.
Get him out of here.
What a travesty. Oh, here comes Scotty Z.
Scotty Z on the attack. TJ choking the life out of Dynamic.
He threw Professor out. And now Scotty Z going after TJ.
Scotty Z taking it to TJ.
Right arm drag there by Scotty Z.
Body slam. Oh no!
Oh, he just clotheslined him.
Couldn't get him over.
TJ's running for cover now. He had absolutely no business being out here in this title match.
Hey, TJ goes where he wants to. But look at the final result. The professor keeps the title. Dynamic's down and hurt.
Dynamic doesn't know where he's at. I know, as far as he's concerned, maybe Scotty...
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout by disqualification, Mr. Dynamic. Because it was due to a disqualification, the title does not change hands.
And we have a new champion.
Well, Dynamic won the match, but the professor won the match after the match.
I got a feeling we may see
Mr. Dynamic. Mr. Dynamic. You know, what I've been watching here the past 2 months, I've seen these guys jump you twice, and it makes me sick. You know, we've known each other for a little while, and you've given me a lot of advice and helped me out. So anytime, any place that you need a partner or you need somebody to be in your corner, you just call or you ask, and I'll be there.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Dynamic, very cautious to shake hands. Like I said, I don't think he knows what's going on. Now he realizes Scotty Z came and saved him.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show for this
Give me a
evening. We'd like to
tissue, I
thank
have a
you for
tear
coming.
in
We'd like
my
to remind
eye.
you once again to come to our show here on February the 13th. It's our next show. Also tune in to Channel 6 cable within the Twin Cities metro area Wednesday evenings 8:30. Thank you for coming and have a good evening.
Well, fans, before we sign off,